If my mic would start. There we go. What's up, guys? It's another Monday Night Raw review with yours truly, Genetic Minority, and of course Chase Oliver 68. Just to Chase and I were just talking briefly. Not much to say about this Raw. We're gonna try to keep it short, sweet, to the point. Raw opens up with the Authority minus Steph and Triple H, who are apparently on vacation.
Yeah, they deserve it, man. I mean, they do so much great stuff for us that they deserve vacation.
Yeah, they totally deserve all their days off because of all the work that they do. And wait, that whole week and 2 weeks that they had off back when they got the Authority lost and Survivor Series wasn't enough for them.
Which is surprising to me because you would figure Triple H just beat Sting. You would figure that the WWE would be trying to shove him down our throats by now.
Yeah, I would think that too, but it's just one of those, we expect it, and I think they know we expect it, that we're just sick of it. Because look, they didn't even show him last week.
I know, which surprised me because that was one thing that I felt was missing from Raw last week. Though was actually a Triple H promo. The guys just rubbing in our faces type of deal.
Yeah, usually that's. I guess they really want to promote Steph now because of the Ronda Rousey stuff, but it's no secret, no bones about it. I don't really like Stephanie McMahon. I mean, her character is fine, and I understand it and things like that, but I don't like Stephanie McMahon as a whole, just in general. So I have no interest in the stuff she does. She was great with her match against what's her face, the Brie Bella, just because she was a good heel, but. But, other than that, I'm not really a huge fan of Steph. But if they want to promote her, that's fine. Get whatever kind of heat behind her. And, I mean, I'm all good for... I guess this Raw was also missing one of those half-hour Triple H promos, but I can do with... It's one of those, it's a give or take kind of thing. It's I can do with it, I can do without it.
Yeah, but pretty much the Authority came out, and they were just bragging they normally do. Oh, you're so fucking good. And Kane's hey, guys... MGM powers, and then they were what? You can do this? Type of deal, because they totally forgot Kane's character for the last 6 months, and then all of a sudden they made him direct. They were yeah, use your powers, Kane. And Randy Orton came out to pretty much insult the Authority, and then Kane was I'm gonna use my powers now, guys, for reals. And he used his powers to make a triple threat main event with my boys, Ryback, Cockness, and Randy Orton. Winner gets a shot at the WWE Heavyweight title. And then made a bunch of single matches that pretty much no one cared about.
Yeah, pretty much. He was just oh, here's the main event, and then everyone else has a singles match that happens in between, and no one cared about them. I was a little bit curious as to why Ryback was in it, other than being the fall guy, but, I mean, hey.
Yeah, I totally understand, why Ryback would be kind of in it, just because, he does have ties with the Authority, but what has he done lately to kind of say that he deserves the WWE Heavyweight Championship match? It's not like he won the Honor in the Giant Battle Royale.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just if he had won the Battle Royal, it'd be more, kind of, another accolade to add to be oh yeah, he kind of deserves to be here. I mean, it would have kind of felt forced, but at least not as forced as it is now with it just shoving him in it because he's the fall guy. So
yeah, and then also because he won the tag match last week on Raw. I didn't know winning tag matches all of a sudden get you world title shots.
Oh yeah, winning tag matches get you all kinds of world title shots, man. Where are you living at? What come on, man. Winning tag matches, that's why Kalisto and Sin Cara are the next in line for the world title.
Oh shit. Kalisto's getting pushed to the moon there.
Yeah, they're pushing him straight through the roof, man. They need to put freaking Adrian Neville in more tag matches.
Who's this Adrian Neville? This guy sounds cool.
I'm sorry, not Adrian Neville. Neville. I don't know who Adrian Neville is. But yeah, so Kane sets up the match. It's him versus. He sets up the 3 singles matches. The first one being him versus Randy Orton, and it's your atypical Randy Orton Kane match. Randy Orton wins after Kane gets himself DQ'd by hitting Randy with a chair. You would think they would have done something more to kind of promote the notion that Randy Orton wasn't gonna win by having him actually beat him down with a chair, but he doesn't. He goes for it, and then Randy reverses it, and then Kane just kind of weasels away.
Yeah, they're just kind of we're okay, we gotta make sure this match is not clearly obvious because we all know that Randy was pretty much going to be next in line. In fact, actually, it was funny. People were saying that, like, on SmackDown, like, pretty much Randy Orton was named the number one contender to the title, but they totally, like, scrapped that here on this episode.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't watch SmackDown. I just I know that Daniel Bryan got his head busted open. That was about it. By Sheamus, my man. I'm totally on the Sheamus boat right now, but we'll talk about him later. So yeah, it was just weird. And then I'm trying to look at my notes here, and so yeah, Kane loses by DQ because it's an authority match. Sorry, I gotta scroll down my notes. And the next thing we see for some reason in the backstage segment is freaking Brad Maddox. Brad is there, and he's just talking to Kane very briefly, but it's just weird to see his face. I miss Brad Maddox, honestly, because he was really funny. But basically, Seth Rollins comes to the back, says Kane isn't pulling his weight as a member of the Authority. Kane says, well, how do you like this? You got a match. And Seth Rollins basically says he's going to tattle on Kane when Triple H and Steph come back next week.
Yeah, this segment I like a little bit just because it kind of made Seth Rollins a little bit more vicious, not like kind of like the other pussy heel, because like he's going to play a pussy heel, but it showed that he's not afraid to go into matches, because normally when heels get told they're going to be wrestling a match, you go, how dare you put me in the match? Like, what? I'm not ready to wrestle and stuff. And Seth Rollins is like, okay, fine, I'll do the match and I'll win because I'm the fighting champion and stuff like that. Like, he still sounded cowardly, but he wasn't too cowardly.
He sounded more like a kid that when you were like, well, fine, if you want to fight, you can fight this guy. And it's like, well, fine, I'll do it. I'm going to tell mom, though, when I get back. You know, it's like when you get in an argument with your little brother.
It was good. It was good because it just didn't make Seth look like he was just like the ultimate bitch character like the WWE likes to do with their heels.
Yeah, it was definitely good in that respect. And, of course, we got to see Brad Maddox, Brad. Yeah, so he basically says he's going to tattle. And Kane's like, whatever. Next, we get Seth Rollins comes out, and he's met by Neville. I'm using air quotes as I'm saying that. Adrian Neville. I didn't realize how short he is, like Adrian Neville.
No, Neville is like, if you really want to look at, like, you know how, like, people post those pictures on Instagram, like Transformation Tuesday or whatever?
Yeah.
Seriously, go look at, type in Neville back in the old days, and you'll just be like, what the fuck happened to him? He just, like, took John Cena's steroids and...
Oh, no, I remember him. I remember him as Pac. I remember first learning about him. I saw a match with him and AJ Styles. And so, yeah, he's, like, really big, but he's also really short. And that I didn't realize how short he was until you stand next to Seth Rollins, who really isn't that tall.
Seth Rollins gets the term vanilla midget thrown at him by wrestling fans, but Seth Rollins is not really a vanilla midget. He can do vanilla midget-like stuff. But Seth Rollins is like 6'2", 6'3", I think.
Yeah, it's weird. You know, you never really see how short a guy is until you stand next to a guy who's also not that tall. I'm curious to see how Adrian Neville looks standing next to Daniel Bryan, who's all of about, like, Spud Webb tall. It'd just be like, oh, man, how tall is Nate Robinson compared to Spud Webb? That's pretty much what I think of when I think of Adrian Neville and Daniel Bryan.
Neville, like, is listed at 5'8", and Daniel Bryan's also listed at 5'8".
So, yeah, he's short.
Yeah, he's a short fucker.
But so yeah, we get Adrian Neville versus Seth Rollins. It was a solid match, you know. And the end saw Seth Rollins hit Adrian Neville with a curb stomp, which he sold like RVD sold the RKO, like when he flips over on his head. And then after the match, he hits him with a second curb stomp. I guess this match was fine, like as a whole. I kind of wish he did two curb stomps in the match to Adrian Neville.
Showed that he was like really serious about getting rid of Neville, but I like this match for many reasons. Not just like, you know, two favorites going at it, like Tyler Black versus Puck and stuff like that. I like this match because it was like the WWE is bringing in a new talent, and they're actually making that new talent feel like he's kind of a big deal. I mean, he's facing the champion, for fuck's sakes. And normally when they bring in new talent, that dude's facing like guys that are not worthy to be like kind of in his ring or something like that. Like they just give him like the Heath Slater, the fucking Zack Ryders and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
that, you know, these jobbers that don't really have any rhyme or reason or consequence. So they gave him someone like Seth Rollins, and they're trying to show you like, hey, this guy looks to be a big deal. They're trying to make him feel like he's a big deal. You know, he's part of your NXT farm system. You know, people know who he is. You know. he was there since the start of the network. He was actually the first champion, like pretty much like the first ever NXT special. He won the NXT championship. So like if you had the network for a while, you should know who Neville / Adrian Neville is by now. You should know what he's all about. So it's good that they're trying to make him feel like a big deal by having him face a champion in a good match. And it's good for Adrian Neville to lose these type of matches, but at least it's trying to show you that, like, hey, you should be excited about this guy instead of saying, like, oh, this guy's just like every other dude that comes up through the WWE main roster.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree with that 110%. I'm glad to see him in a match that matters. Like, he's not just going to go, the next month, 2 months just facing Axelmania and Heath Slater and, and Zack Ryder and whatnot. So that's cool. I kind of just wish that second curb stomp would have happened, but that happens a lot, really, with Seth Rollins matches. Is like, I remember the last time that happened was like the Ryback match where he's like he could have threw in a second curb, like throwing in a second curb stomp. A lot of people think is like trying to bury the guy, but no, it's like there's a thin line between burying and putting over, and a secondary curb stomp, like, if it's somebody like Brock Lesnar, you don't want to see 2 F5s in a row to just some jobber or just a rookie or something like that, because it's like it's completely unnecessary. But when it comes to like Seth Rollins being kind of like a coward, also kind of a rookie. I mean, in terms of like being on the main roster, being like he was the hot shot new guy not too long ago, it would have went a little while as to saying like basically how tough Adrian Neville was. Is like the only reason why he put him down is because he hit him with 2 curb stomps. But it's fine. Next, God, my least favorite segments of Raw. Apparently, Cena needs to be the greatest U.S. champ ever, and he has another, what I did not know was officially titled the John Cena Open Challenge, because apparently everyone else's Open Challenges don't matter. And the hardcore title, which was set to a 24/7 rule, no, it's not a John Cena hardcore title.
It's the John Cena Open Challenge. If you want to be a man of this company, you have to face the man. That's John Cena. I just love how he gets his own rules as a big card champion. I'm a fighting champion. I'm going to make sure that this belt gets defended every single week. Like, okay, John, do whatever.
Yeah. Here's the thing. One, he should never have the title in the first place. But if he's going to be doing this Open Challenge stuff.
And to me, man, like the Open Challenge stuff, people are going to try to spin, like, oh, this is making the U.S. title feel more important than it's ever felt before.
No, it's supposed to make Cena feel more important than Cena's ever felt before.
It makes Cena feel more important, and also just to me, because, like, people forget Cena's facing Rusev at Extreme Rules. Like, Cena had to mention in his promo, I'm facing Rusev at Extreme Rules, and he faces me or whoever the U.S. champion is. That's fine. But it's just like, wait, so Rusev can't, like, we built up this Rusev character for how many fucking months, shoving him down our throats, this Bulgarian group character, and this guy can't even get on television. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy cannot be on TV even just for just like one little, like, for a segment or so. Why doesn't he answer the Open Challenge? No, he wants the Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Like, it just feels like the WWE is just lazy in writing for the Cena versus Rusev Extreme Rules matches. Like, they use all their material for the WrestleMania build. Like, they're like, okay, well, we don't really have that much material anymore for this feud, so let's just have it at Extreme Rules.
They don't have any material for this feud because the wrong person left as champion.
Rusev needed to lose his streak, I think. Like, if he would have won, he would have just lost at Extreme Rules anyways, and there was no point in extending the feud a month if he's just going to lose it anyways. Like, you needed that Mania moment where Rusev loses, but it just wasn't the wrong time.
You're mistaking what I'm saying for saying that Rusev should have had it. I think Ryback should have had it. That should have been
Ryback should definitely be champion now. Like, Ryback should be US champion.
Ryback should have been champion, and this way it doesn't seem weird when he's in the main event to decide who's going to be in the line for WWE Championship. Could have threw Cena in there instead and had him been the fall guy. That wouldn't have happened, but it would have made more sense. It would have gone a long way to making both the competitors feel like they were legitimate because they're going up to face off and triple threat match with Cena, and you don't expect Cena to lose. So, but Cena's champ. God, stop talking about it. But nevertheless, it's this open challenge, the challenge was met by Stardust, who came out dressed like Doctor Strange, and then
That's like a Hunger Games character, dude. like, like the person on fire. Isn't that Hunger Games?
yeah.
He's coming out like a Hunger Games character, not Doctor Strange.
I'm thinking of like specifically the high brimmed like cape, the thing like the back of the cape that comes up to the top, like the back of your head. That's what I'm.
Okay, I could kind of see that, but he's more of a Hunger Games character.
I don't know. There was somebody posted a picture of him dressed like it was like a weird. I think it was like a New 52 version of. Or I say New 52. One of the newer Doctor Strange outfits, and it kind of looks very similar. But he just came out dressed weird, like a Hunger Games. Like he just came dressed weird, and that's the thing he wore at Mania, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's been wearing that for a while, like for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was. He just came dressed weird, and like a weird, like a mutated spider hopped on his back. And he, of course, loses to Cena, but it was a solid match. It was just like, and Cena busted out what is now canon. It's probably going to be in his moveset WWE 2K16, the Springboard Stunner.
That's such a weird move. I don't fault John Cena for trying something new. That's cool. I mean, but like, I don't get it. I don't get this.
The problem.
Like, who did John Cena talk to for that move? That's what I want to know. Did he have Daniel Bryan like, hey, what cool move should I add to my repertoire or something like that? Like, who did he talk to get this new move? Because it's just so weird that he decided, like, oh, this is my new move now. I'm just going to bounce off the ropes for no reason and just do a stunner onto them.
Because everyone's, they talk about the fact that he doesn't do the leg drop and that we know like Cena doesn't even go to the top anymore to do the leg drop, so he's like, I need a sprint.
That kills his back because, like, that kills his back.
Yeah. I understand why he doesn't do it that often, but people say that, so he's like, I need a springboard move so I can be like, you got Cody Rhodes even has springboard moves, and I think it was just his way of having a springboard move. Like CM Punk's got the springboard clothesline, Cody Rhodes got the springboard body splash, we got Kalisto and Sin Cara running around bouncing off the ropes, El Torito, and Cena was just like, I need a move that's a springboard but nothing too hard. Maybe if honestly, I think he was watching some of his old matches because he got the U.S. title. He's watching some of his old matches with Carlito and was like, "Oh, I'll do a back elbow," and then he just kind of botched it during practice, and it turned into a stunner. And he was like, "That works."
Yeah, no, because it's always funny because like Cena, like at random times he likes to add new moves. Like he will just add a new move to his repertoire, and then like he does it for a couple months. Like remember when he would just do he would put people in the AA position and just randomly do a power slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, he randomly add new moves to his repertoire, and then after he kind of just forgets about them after a while. He's just like, oh, okay, I did that once.
Springboard stunner, man. I swear, if I see that in the trailers for WWE 2K16, I'm gonna lose my mind. But yeah, so
he's gonna be wrestling now, guys. He doesn't just have 5 moves; he has 6 now.
Oh, he did do over the shoulder power slam, like what's it called? Like a Magnum driver. So I mean, he's got 7 moves, guys. So Cena, #greatest of all time. But yeah, he beats Stardust and.
Michael. Speaking of Michael Cole, let me just talk about Byron Saxton. This dude sucks.
Yep.
I never thought I would be saying, "Oh shit, please bring back Michael Cole," because this guy is so bored. He sounds like he's not interested in anything that's going on. I mean, I get it, sometimes we can be kind of monotone in the podcast and stuff, but, Byron Saxton just sounds like he just doesn't want to be there. Or he just doesn't bring energy. He just, as annoying as Michael Cole is, I'd rather have someone that is annoyingly energetic, like Mike Adams, than someone who's just really, really boring.
Yeah, that's really a big deal. Is a lot of people, and you especially, give me guff for saying I like Mike Adamle, but I mean, I do. He was at least passionate about his failure.
You're making me crazy. Who thinks of that? I love when he first said that. When he was like, "You're making me crazy." I was like, what? Did he really just say that?
Listen, that's the thing. Mike Adamle tries. Byron Saxton doesn't try. Even on SmackDown, when he's supposed to be a heel commentator, he doesn't try. He's just at least JBL is kind of he's up about it. Everything's super emotional with him. Is like when however he responds, it sounds like it's a big deal to him. But with Byron Saxton, it's just like, yeah, Cole. I mean, I really like Sheamus's new look and then he comes on Raw and he's replacing Michael Cole, and he's not. I think it's because he's a heel on SmackDown, but now he's replacing Michael Cole for I don't know why. So they want him to kind of like be a neutral party with Booker T on the other end, and it just comes out like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, like I'd rather have Booker T say "shucky ducky quack quack" a bunch of times, I'm an idiot, than Bryan Saxton just suck the life out of a show, because I forgot to mention this in my review, but I just thought he did horrible. Like it did not help my viewing experience at all for this Raw. Like I was just kind of sitting there being like, how is this dumbass freaking on television?
I don't know. I guess give black guys a chance. Has somebody got that hashtag going? I don't know. Why is Michael Cole not on TV? I mean, JBL's there. I guess to build more towards this Brock Lesnar stuff, but it doesn't really. I don't know what is King doing. Seriously, like, I'd even handle the ramblings of the madman known as Jerry the King Lawler than Byron Saxton's just ugh.
Why is just dull, boring personality?
Oh wow, you are a lot louder. You really need to sit closer to the mic.
No, I don't most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time you're like drifted back, and then you come in and you're really close, and I'm like, oh, whoa, that's what Chase sounds like. Byron Saxton doesn't matter. That's his problem.
He's just so boring, like I said. Like, he's just really boring of a dude.
Yeah, he just is boring. He's got no. I mean, he could at least put some heart into it. He might botch it up like Mike Adamle, and I know you want to kind of like this is your chance to shine as a color commentator on the main stage on Raw, but it's just like
he's not taking full advantage of it. He's not going out there and just trying to like I said, like I'd rather you be like Mike Adamle and just be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Than just like you going out there and not trying to be energetic, because that's the thing. You're supposed to be what's it called? Like you're supposed to be the guy that like is carrying Raw. You're the voice of Raw, and when I hear the voice of Raw, I want energy. I want enthusiasm. Like you just don't sound like it. You just sound like you are going through the motions. You're like a robot.
Yeah, he took lessons from the Cena bot on how to portray emotion, and even Cena's more emotional. I mean like a bot. Like before they programmed the emotions in the Cena bot, they forgot to program. They accidentally came out with a Byron Saxton bot, and they put him out there today. It was like a bad. Sin Cara was working the bot maker, and he made a Byron Saxton bot by accident. So yeah, it was just weird. I think just before this, there's some stuff I skipped over, like that backstage stuff with the Divas and Kane, but they also gave like a little farewell to AJ. I don't care. Next we get, and I only say this because next we get the Bellas versus Paige and Naomi. All I have to say about that is hashtag give Divas.
Just a long tag match that didn't need to be long.
Hashtag give the Divas a chance to botch. There was a lot of botching.
Oh yeah.
That's what people wanted. You got AJ Lee retired, and we got the Bellas.
Yeah, Naomi was botching up a storm in this match. Like she even botched like that leg finisher she likes to do. Like it was I think it was a botch between both women,
mm-hmm.
but Jay just freaking botched that really bad.
Well, the one botch was not her fault. She went for the Kelly like spinning Hurricane Rana, and Nikki fell over like backwards instead of forward, so it looked ridiculous. But yeah, she did like botch a couple things, like the top rope stuff and whatnot. But she looked surprisingly green. I'm really starting to miss like Tamina and Karma and Beth Phoenix and like real powerhouse divas.
That's what they're missing, is like that big powerhouse diva where it's just like, oh fuck, they have to deal with this bitch. Like, there's not really like a really like intimidating woman in the locker room right now where it's just like, oh man, this girl can just do some damage. Like,
yeah. I don't know what I don't know if Tamina's still hurt or hurt again or something, and I don't know. And it could have been Natty, but she's like too busy being a stupid wife or stupid. I don't know. She's too busy being stupid and eating chicken fries. And then they don't have Karma anymore. They really should sign her back. She actually lost a lot of weight, so.
They signed this new girl, like Dana something. She's like a muscle, like a bodybuilder type girl. She's really huge. She's
well,
she's debuting on NXT, I believe, like this weekend actually. Yeah.
maybe I'll try to find a way to watch that. I'm curious to see what China number 2 looks like, and that's all that's gonna happen. You really can't have like a buff chick. You just gotta have like a big chick. Um, a uniquely different. Each big chick in WWE has to look kind of different. Like Tamina's really tall. Like Beth Phoenix was kind of like intimidating like size. She looked like a bodybuilder chick. You had Karma, who was like a big woman. You know, whenever in China was like a bodybuilder chick, you kind of have to have your dominant diva look different each time.
You just need that one big dominating woman, because like a lot of the women in WWE, they're not really like big, but it helps when you have that bigger woman because it makes for interesting matches.
Yeah, it's. I mean, people say it's like cliche or whatever, but it's like, I listen. I like Kong. I like Awesome Kong and whatnot like that. And, I mean, Japanese women wrestling, they always have like 2 or 3 really big chicks, and you're like, oh my god, they're just gonna come in there and kill somebody. So I don't know. It wouldn't hurt WWE to add someone up to in the main roster. I mean, it's gonna take some time for that girl to get up to the main roster. So it's just like, for now, for like the next year or 2, we have to kind of suffer unless they re-sign somebody or sign. You know, we have to kind of suffer through having these like, you know, tiny divas. I mean, they at least could get someone who's in, make one of them intimidating. Maybe make Natty a better character. I don't know. But next we get Primetime Players had a backstage segment just making fun of the other tag teams and Kofi Kingston's chest. And it was a solid backstage segment. I like Primetime Players as a whole. I'm glad to see them. I actually like them, so I'm glad to see them back together.
Yeah, no, these guys were on fire tonight. They were really funny. I liked their mock of the Ascension. Like, oh, dude, I got some sweet face paint, and it's true because their face paint does look like it's just fucking ketchup on them. So I thought it was really good stuff.
It was really funny. He was like, "That's ketchup." He's like, "I got it in my eye." It's like, oh god.
I thought they did a good job.
No, it was a solid backstage thing. They got the freaking little tiny safety cones with tin foil around them. They were funny. I kind of wish they would have been giving them some more on screen. I don't know what this is leading up to. Maybe it was just like a one-off deal. They do this a lot with Primetime Players. It's like they'll have like 2-3 weeks where they'll just do something kind of fun. Maybe have a match or 2, and then it's like they don't care about them again, and they'll probably break him up again. I don't know. Maybe make Darren the heel this time. I don't know. But nevertheless, it was funny. Next, we get Luke Harper versus Ryback, who came out in almost all blue. It was a really quick match. Ryback won.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can get out of this. It's the typical Ryback Luke Harper match.
I'm really sick of like Luke Harper. He needs to go back and hide off with the Wyatt family. Only thing I will say though, I'm happy Eric Rowan has been nowhere near my TV screen. Oh, sorry, Garbage Man.
Thank you. Call him by his real name.
I'm happy that the Ginger Garbage Man has been nowhere near my screen for like 3 months now. I think it's been longer than that, 3-4 months.
It's just great stuff.
Yeah, this is great. This is the best ride ever. A+, man. No Garbage Man. Next we get the new slaves had a backstage segment with Renee addressing the fact that the crowd hates them because they're racist caricatures, and they basically said we don't care, and then clapped away, and that was really irritating. So then we got the new slaves versus Mucha Lucha. That's the Lucha Dragons, and Mucha Lucha won. That's
it was once again another Callisto. Hey, just go out there and do really good stuff.
Yeah. Callisto did kind of like botch, I think twice, like his entrance, but he always pulls it out because they're good athletic guys like him and Sin Cara. So it always kind of like looks like it works out, but you can kind of tell when they were slightly off on their like trajectory to something. But it was fine. It was just another Callisto and Sin Cara and beating up on the new slaves, and no one cared. Next, we get Cockfist versus The Big Show. Cockfist wins.
Yeah, that's all we need to really say. I mean, you're going to be seeing more of this match. That's all I got to say.
I'm so sick of The Big Show versus Cockfist match. It's really irritating. It's really boring. I don't particularly care for The Big Show, at least not anymore, and I didn't think he needed to win. Well, obviously he needed to win it, but the Battle Royal was just like, now it's just annoying to constantly see him like, my screen comes on and he's standing with his arms crossed, and it's like, I don't stand in the shadow of Andre the Giant anymore. Excuse me while I pose like Andre the Giant. doesn't make any sense. WWE logic. Next, we get Sheamus with. I didn't hear this on SmackDown. I just only knew about the Daniel Bryan getting. Like, I just saw that. It was like Daniel Bryan's head busted open on SmackDown, needed stitches. But he's got a new theme and a new entrance, and I like it.
Yeah, dude, I love this new Sheamus. This new Sheamus is great stuff because this guy, he's pretty much Batista.
Yeah.
He's pretty much Dave Batista. He's just like what's it called? Like, he's stealing promos from Batista because, like, his promo pretty much, if you guys remember, when Batista came back last year, his promo was like, what happened to all the real men in this company?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 and stuff like that, and that's what Sheamus is doing.
Yeah, and he gave him the deal with it when they were talking about his hair. He was just like, he didn't even give him the deal with it. He shushed them like they were little kids and says grown, an adult is talking, which I think is hilarious because it's kind of indicative to the fact that, like, a lot of, like, kids just follow chants that they hear from, like, one guy, and he's just like, you're all acting like a bunch of kids talking about my hair and not my in-ring work. But he says there's no more real men in WWE, and he's calling out Dolph Ziggler. I don't know what's with this, him wanting a feud with Dolph Ziggler and not Daniel Bryan, but I guess Daniel Bryan's got other stuff to do, like rematch with Bad News Barrett. But he gets cut off by Mark Henry because it's Texas. And so we get the Great White versus the Big Black, and Sheamus wins. That's that. The crowd really wasn't, like, into it. The crowd kind of sucked for it. It's like, you have Sheamus, who's, like, really good heel right now, or at least a relatively interesting heel right now, and I'm actually wanted to see what they do with him. Hope they don't mess it up. And then you got Mark Henry. He's Silsby, Texas, man, and you won't even cheer for that because of what? Because you're lazy? Because you're tired? Because you blew your wad cheering for Roman Reigns because he walks through the crowd? What is it? It was a solid, like, matchup too, and it was like, what? I don't get it. Sometimes the crowds are really, like, just really get on my nerves. Next, this bit. Next, we get Bray Wyatt, and he's on my screen for some reason, cutting a promo, talking about how he's the new face of fear. But I didn't know the face of fear could also be a loser.
Yeah, this guy's just a bum. Get him off on TV.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't know/care who he's calling out because it doesn't matter. He's a loser. He's only managed to beat one person, and that's the Idiot Fringe. That's it. Who else is he beating? Nobody. He ain't beat The Undertaker. He ain't beat John Cena. He's only beaten the Idiot Fringe and the Shield when he was the Wyatt family. That was the last time he beat anybody relevant, was the whole members of the Shield. But other than that, he's only beat the Idiot Fringe. He's only beat the Idiot Fringe because the Idiot Fringe is an idiot. That's it. So why is he on my screen cutting a promo telling him he's the new face of fear and he's going to dominate somebody through their fear of blah, blah, blah?
He's pretty much saying in his promo, hey, look, dude, I put over the Undertaker, now I'm going to put you over and cut promos along the way.
Yeah. I don't even know who he's facing off, and I don't care. Maybe it'll be like, I don't care. I mean, honestly, this guy would lose to freaking Boogeyman at Mania because that's how much he sucks. Like, he would lose to just anybody. I mean, he'd lose to Gilbert at Mania.
That's low if you're losing to Boogeyman.
He'd lose. He'd be the only guy to ever lose to Heath Slater at Mania.
Oh no.
Like, he's just so he'd lose. I swear, I would not be surprised if he wasn't calling out freaking Hornswoggle to lose to him at Extreme Rules via interference by freaking Finlay.
Oh god, poor Bray Wyatt. How the mighty fallen.
Poor Bray Wyatt to have a guy who I actually liked. I liked him in NXT as Husky Harris. I thought he was relatively. I was like, it's a big dude. He moves. He can move pretty well. He's IRS man's son. It's pretty awesome. He comes back as Bray Wyatt. I'm super interested because I know the Waylon Mercer character was relatively interesting, even though he didn't do all that great. And that's basically what he's become. He's become like the Waylon Mercer character, like a guy who was like, that guy's kind of cool, but I don't care. Like, he's just going to be beating up on Doink the Clown. And that's pretty much what him versus the Idiot Fringe was Waylon Mercer versus Doink the Clown, where he hits him a couple times, and the only reason why Doink, a.k.a. the Idiot Fringe, doesn't win is because of his own stupidity. So it's like, why do I care about him talking about, how can you be the face of fear when no one's scared of you?
Mm-hmm.
Who's scared of him? Who is, like, genuinely Like when he gets in the ring and he does the whole pop up spider walk thing, no one should ever be afraid of him because they should just get up and kick him in the head because he looks like an idiot while he's doing it. It's like no one's afraid of you. You're not scared. There are children who are not afraid of Bray Wyatt. It doesn't matter how many creepy imagery you show on my screen of some pregnant person holding their belly with the word sin written on it. I don't care. He's not scary. He's not intimidating. I don't believe he's the face of fear. I don't believe that he can beat anybody other than the 88 Fringe. And apparently, as long as you're Wyatt family, you can beat the 88 Fringe because he got powerbombed through a table by freaking Luke Harper. Also, this is what I meant to mention. How come Luke Harper changes his vest but never changes his wife beater?
I don't know. I don't really care. I'm zoning out. I don't care about Bray Wyatt. I don't care what he does. He can do whatever he wants. And I just don't care.
Yeah, it's whatever. Next, we get, finally, even though it was kind of we get Miz versus Mizdow. And it was an okay match. It saw the end saw the Miz hit the roll up on Mizdow. But once again, the crowd really was just like not into it. And I don't know if that has to do with the crowd sucking, because they were kind of or if it's just because they wasted all the guff with it behind at Mania, putting them in that stupid battle royal instead of just giving them a match. As I scroll down.
Like I said, I don't really care about Bray Wyatt at this point. Can we move on?
We literally moved right past Bray Wyatt, and I was talking about Miz and Mizdow.
Oh god, this is sad. I don't know why this isn't a pay-per-view match. Like, these guys can give you 2, maybe 3 pay-per-view matches, and you waste one of them on Raw. I mean, this should have been the Extreme Rules pay-per-view match. This should have been where Miz gets to win, and then Mizdow gets to revenge on the next pay-per-view. But no, they just wasted it, and it was a short, really bad match between the two because they weren't given enough time to really tell a story.
Yeah, and it's just like Miz gets the roll-up win, which is, I guess, heel it with the pulling of the tights, but it's like, it's on Raw. The crowd doesn't really care. I mean, the crowd kind of sucked towards the end of the show, and you wasted all that, like, the big pop that they would have had at Mania. And, you could have had the Miz win at Mania. I mean, the Miz does have, like, a 6-0 or something like that, or a 5-1 at Mania. You could have had him win at Mania, and then have Mizdow get his revenge at Extreme Rules in a situation where it's like he can just beat the Miz down. But no, instead they waste this here on Raw for them to, like, for the Mizdow to chase. And why is he still Mizdow and not Sandow now? He's past this. To go and get his revenge at Extreme Rules. Now we're going to spend the next 2 weeks with a rushed build towards, or probably lack thereof, towards Extreme Rules, and then another one at Battlegrounds, and that'll be their 3 matches, and they'll probably do another one, like a 4th on the Raw following Battlegrounds, because why not? It's whatever. Next, we get a main event featuring Team Chase. That's Chase's 3 big guys. Ryback, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns, the 3 R's. It was actually a really short match. Surprisingly,
it was really short, and then like the Authority came in, and then I was depressed because Big Show beat up Cockfist, and then I was like, oh no, Big Show and Roman Reigns feud. Why WWE? Why is it that you have to fucking keep shoving the Big Show down our throats and make us seem like he's important? He's not. He's the Big Show. No one gives a fuck what this dude's doing. Like, if you guys would have done the smart thing and make him a special attraction, then yeah, this would be cool. But no, this isn't cool. I don't care about Big Show versus Roman Reigns. They can go out there and maybe put on a good street fight at Extreme Rules, but I just don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Yeah, pretty much. That's really the end all be all. Like, he hit him with 2 knockout punches, and that takes him out of the match. That allowed Randy Orton, Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury come in the ring and get beat down by Ryback, but that allows Randy Orton to hit the RKO on Ryback and get the pin. He becomes a new number 1 contender. But before he gets a chance to celebrate, he eats a curb stomp. And then that's how Raw ended. And it was the end of that match was indicative of the entire show itself. It was just It was just slightly above average simply because, I don't know, maybe we've just lowered our standards as of recently. I mean, nothing really blew you away, nothing to remember, except for...
This Raw was just kind of like, it was a better than average Raw, but it was just kind of like, where were certain characters on this Raw? Like, where was Daniel Bryan and Patrick Square? Because honestly, I didn't know until I actually checked the dirt sheets before we did this review that Bryan and Barrett are having an IC title match at Extreme Rules, and it's like, well, fuck, I was figuring they were on the route to give, Sheamus the IC title. Where was our IC champion, Daniel Bryan, for this show? Where was Ziggler? Where was Ambrose? Where was, all these other dudes? It just felt like, instead of giving 3 matches dedicated to Randy Orton, Ryback, and Cockface, you could, use those guys in those situations. But I did like some stuff that they did for this week's episode. It just wasn't an exciting one.
Yeah, so there was one, Neville versus Seth Rollins was interesting, and then everything else was just slightly above average. I mean, like, the Big Show versus Roman Reigns match was okay. It just, I wasn't invested in it. And like you said, they have a solid street fight. On the whole, though, it's just like so much was missing from Raw. It just felt semi-empty, but it also wasn't like empty in the sense that it was bad. None of the stuff was bad, but it just felt like it was missing that thing to put this Raw over, especially when you have the freaking NCAA championships going on simultaneously. It's like you gotta give it something, and I guess that they're in their minds, Adrian Neville versus Seth Rollins was that thing, or getting Randy Orton in the main event. So yeah, C+ Raw. I can't complain, but I can, obviously.
Yeah, it's not one of those Raws where we go into full-on complaint mode, but it's not one of those Raws where we have much to say.
Mm-hmm. So, sorry about the shortened review. Leave anything you want to say in the comment section. I mean, just follow us on Twitter. Our faces will be on the screen with our Twitter handles. Send in questions, because that gives us something to do on the reviews when we're just like don't know what to talk about. It's like if somebody says like a question like, how do you feel about this thing, and that happens to be a segment we're going to talk about, then we could throw those in there and really make it more interactive. So yeah, just questions, tweet at us, put them in the comments section below, tell us how you felt about Raw, like, share, subscribe, do all the other garbage that people beg you to do. I don't really care if you do, but it'd be awesome if you did. And join us next week when hopefully Raw is at least a solid B-. Yeah, that's it. Peace.
Okay. That's it for the episode.